Welcome back, everybody. Lucky number 13, Two Tamers Talk. As always, joined by my buddy Jeff.
Hey, what's going on?
Another week.
It is episode 13. We are just like the Winchester house, where she was obsessed with the number 13 and she kept building 24/7 construction. I think we do the same thing here at that channel.
I am going to say, though, I don't know if it's a coincidence that it's lucky number 13, but our whole shop is closed today because everybody's sick in the Pacific Northwest, including like half of my household. So we've been quarantined in this room, testing and playing Digimon all night.
Yeah, instead of doing locals.
Yes, so no locals tonight, but man, we had some fun stuff planned tonight because I was going to deviate from my normal machine play, and you were going to deviate from like your meta, like
yeah, because I was really diving my foot into meta experimenting to. Because like I see these deck lists, I see all the conversations going along. I watch tons of deck profile videos to get all this information, But I was like, I need to step back from meta for just a week. I needed like a break.
And we didn't even talk about both doing it at the same week. We both just had plans. I was like,
just decided.
I just wanted to do something different. So I was going to play my security control, which is a little bit different. We're going to put it on the channel. It's kind of a mix between security control, but it's also got a lot of security Digimon mixed into it. Something I've been working on for, I don't know, 3 formats now.
Yeah, you've been working on it for a long time. And just that growth of the deck.
So, no locals tonight. So, no locals videos, but we're going to get back to it as soon as they're open again. So, our shop owner is on the mend, and we should be open for business next week for full time. But speaking of next week, you're not going to be here next week. So, we're going to be doing this via satellite.
Kind of why I mentioned the Winchester house, because it is in San Jose, and that is where I'm going.
Okay.
Not going specifically for that, but I'm going back for work for another week, so...
And if you have been watching this, if you're a fan, you know that we can still make this work. We do remote Mr. Jeff in here, and we can watch some of the finals videos. It's actually more fun for him that way, because he gets to see what's going on in the shop from afar.
Yeah, and then not only that, I get to explore California's meta. Right, yes. Like I get to go down there, and I play in shops down there. I should be able to hit 3 events with my schedule.
Oh, you already looked them up?
Yep, I looked them up. Probably hit the same places I hit the last time, so I'm really excited. I met some great people down there, some good friends. I know one of our guys who regularly watches. I'll see you in like a week. I'll be there Wednesday.
All right, so moving on. I guess so we had a kind of a mishmash of things we wanted to talk about this week, but it all boiled down to one thing, and it's something that's kind of come up in a lot of conversation lately, especially with shop owners and other players, and it's just, I guess we kind of got carried away with the short format we had for BT10.
Yeah.
And then EX3 came out, and nobody really paid attention until this week, now that we've had these EX3 cards, well, BT11's got to be coming relatively soon, right? Month and a half?
Yeah.
That is not the case. All reports say we don't get BT11 until February 17th.
Wow, that's a long time.
This is going to be either tied or one of our longest formats. I mean, BT7 we sat in for a long time, but that was due to delays. This one, I think, is just due to hopefully scheduling.
I think the Chinese New Year messes. I know Bandai's a Japanese company, I get it, right? But with just the Chinese New Year, the way it disrupts production, logistics. And then you talk about, you have the Christmas holidays, happy holidays for anybody watching this after November. But like just with the holidays and then that, it's just, I guess it makes sense, it's, yeah.
Well, that's kind of how I thought about it too, because like they gave us EX3 really fast. I think it was one of those like, we're going to catch you up a little bit.
Could you imagine being stuck in BT10 with the restrictions?
Yeah.
That would be miserable. I mean, like, obviously I enjoy BT10 as a set, right? Like, but like, just playing Blue Flare because Crossheart got restricted, or like trying to like play, I guess Crossheart's not dead. Let me take that back. But man, yeah. Thank goodness we at least have EX3.
Yeah, and I'm hoping the mentality was just like, we don't want to give them a set in January, because January is everyone's like New Year's resolutions. Like, I'm going to spend, working in the restaurant business, I know that like people spend less money in January because one, they're trying to spend less money and be better people, because everyone in January sets those resolutions. 2, they spent all their money in December for Christmas anyways, right?
Yeah.
So it's like people don't really start spending money until after Valentine's Day, because that's when kind of like tax money starts rolling in and stuff like that. So they couldn't give us another set in December, right? Because people would riot in the streets, right? Because we got 2 sets back to back.
Yeah.
And then January, I think, just wasn't an option. And so they're going like mid to late February. So we got some time in this one.
We do.
Boys and girls.
We do.
So talking about that, we're kind of thinking about, because we're already, in our locals, we're already starting to see some variations in decks and people playing some older, more unique stuff. So it's like, where do you think we're going to be come mid to late January, 2 months from now, and we're still playing EX3 cards?
That's a great point. I had somebody ask me for Lord Knight stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, dude, yeah, let's bring Lord Knight back. Like, that will be a blast. Or, you know, one of the things I'm working on is the BT4 Yellow War Gray. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you were just talking about Hexablau. Mm-hmm. So we have this whole resurgence, especially with these long formats. I think it's healthy, right? Because first of all, it's not the BT7 meta we're stuck in.
Yeah.
It's not hybrids, so thank goodness.
We don't have one deck coming to locals and just stomping.
And I think the holidays, you know, so if people decide to take time off to spend that rightful time with their families during the holidays, they're not like missing a important week of the meta. You know, where they're like, oh man, I was gone for 1 week. Now the meta has completely shifted.
Yeah.
So I think this is a really good time, and I think we are going to see a bunch of that old stuff, that old unique things that people have been wanting to mess with, but just haven't had the opportunity to.
Well, that's a pro, right?
Yeah.
You think so? But do you think that, so if we're thinking about, like, we always want to be positive, but let's think about some of the cons. Like, do you think that we're going to see some player base get bored and fall off? Like, I think the super meta players, like, do you think that they're going to be like, okay, I'm done with this format, I'll come back in February?
I think that's a great point. I think that is very much a possibility. It depends really ultimately what Bandai does for tournaments, right? If there are regular amount of tournaments, which with the holidays, I kind of don't think they're going to be.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think Bandai's going to plan a holiday for Christmas weekend. You know, so if they don't have any more Ultimate Cups for the rest of the year, or if they don't have anything like that, why would people come to locals to test their meta builds?
Yeah.
Or why would people, you know... Now, I think we have a great core specifically at our scene. Like, I mean, this is a huge shout out to everybody who ever comes into our doors and plays, because they're loyal and they just want to come and get their decks on and just like have a great time. So, you know, maybe our fan base will lose a couple players for the time period, and then kind of like a little bit of a resurgence when the next set comes out.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're gonna lose them all.
Yeah, my biggest question is, do you think that like BT11 is really that grandiose of a set to wait this long for? I mean, we waited a long time for BT8, but BT8 came in hard. It came in with some big hitters.
And yeah, no, absolutely. BT8, one of the best sets of all time. But I think you're onto something there. I don't think BT11 is enough to make people wait, you know, to the point where it's like, oh, I just got to wait till February. BT11's coming out, you know. Because the problem is BT11 is almost like a supplement set to BT10.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like EX4 at least is this whole tons of new decks that are still going to be playable. But people aren't really going to be changing their EX decks with BT11.
You're not excited to wait till February for Venmon and Galactic?
I mean, you know me, I'm loyal. I will be there every week, and we'll be there and we'll be playing it. And you know, and I'm even excited to try Shoutmon Cross 3.
Yeah.
I'm even excited to try Cross 7, you know, in the superior mode and all that stuff. Like, all of that stuff is going to be a lot of fun for sure, but I don't know if it's like just, you know, jaw-dropping, especially as these reveals that we're seeing coming out for EX4, BT12, like...
Yeah, we got some spicy stuff on the way, so even the Beelzemon starter deck.
Yeah, and that's true. Now, that's a good point. I don't know when that's supposed to come out.
It doesn't come out till like March, I believe.
March? See, that's
I
the
think
thing,
that's
like,
afterward, yeah.
If maybe they gave us like a starter deck in between.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting it.
You know, because then maybe they could like do that, but I guess that makes sense.
And the last set was an EX set, so we're not getting any new tournament packs. It's like what we have right now is what we're going to have until middle of February. So it's just kind of that point where it's just like, kind of like being in a desert and you're walking through it and you see a mirage or you see water and you get to it and it's like sugar-free low-carb Monster and you're just like, ugh, is this what I have to drink? You know,
I love sugar-free low-carb Monster.
Okay, yeah. But you'd rather have water, right?
Well, I mean, you're right. Gatorade. If I was stuck in a desert, yes, please hydrate me.
I think that's what people are going to want is that Gatorade. They're going to want that good set, you know? And it's like Dimensional Phase. Gatorade. I don't know. Even the box art on the box. I'm like, when they after X Record and they set some really high standards with the box art. I was just like, he's going to give me like rookies and pastel colors.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm nervous for this long period of time.
I am
We'll
too.
make the best of it. We'll make
Yeah.
good content for you guys. You're going to get decks you've never seen before. We already have
Yeah.
a bunch of good ones built.
Yeah, we're literally over in this area. We have like 5 decks that we're about to film as soon as they're done here. So
I'm working on
really excited for
Hexablow.
that.
You're working on, you got Justimon. We got all kinds of cool stuff coming out. So we're still going to sling decks at you. So be ready. But
And it's great too because with these longer periods again, we have the holidays to back us up. Because really you could argue there's like 2 weeks in December where you don't want like a bunch of product coming out, especially like obviously all December is a great time not to have product come out, but not having a whole new meta shift or being able to not paying attention to the Digimon meta and focus on your families during the holidays might be a healthy little break that will make people, come back refreshed, right?
I mean, last year they gave us the gift boxes in December. So
they did. You're absolutely
I was out buying
right.
gifts for my family, and I was buying gift boxes for myself. It was okay. But yeah, so I mean, please give us your take on it. Like, are you excited for this long format? Because I personally don't feel like this is a terrible one to sit in.
No, this is
they gave us so much more stuff in EX3 to play with.
Yeah.
So we're not sitting in something that's just toxic and kind of roots players out. I think people will be able to, if they don't like a deck, then they'll play something else or play something else. There's a whole bunch of stuff people can play.
Probably take me that long to figure out how to build 4 Great Dragons anyways.
Yeah, or Diaboromon. First person to top with Diaboromon, That's what we got to figure out. So that's kind of where we're at. Let us know what you think with this weight. I don't know. I'm nervous, but we're going to move in. Since we're talking about stuff that we're expecting, like, and the stuff that's kind of why with BT11 we're not like stupidly soaked about it, is because this EX4 stuff keeps coming out, right? And so we got some new rookies today.
We did.
We got that new Omnimon last week, and now we have crazy new stuff. We have Gallantmon stuff right out of the gate. And not just regular Gallantmon stuff. We have red-green Gallantmon stuff.
I don't think I could have guessed in a million years that we were going to get this card.
Medieval Gallantmon?
Medieval Gallantmon. I am pumped for this. And I was definitely not expecting red-green.
Red-green.
I kind of thought maybe like if they were going to do some dual-color Gallantmon, it would be more line of that red-purple. Right? Because that's what they've been doing. But they just added in a whole nother color, which is really fun.
We haven't had a red-green level 6 since that
Spinomon, Dinorex, exactly. I mean, honestly, like if this is my soapbox to stand on, why do we not have a red-green Rust Tyrannomon?
Oh, there you go.
We have the green-black one coming out, which is going to be great. Or, some sort of more red-green Tyranno support, because I do think Tyranno's better than red.
Okay.
But anyways, Medieval Gallant, super cool. Sorry to get distracted.
And of course, we have the new Chaos Gallant.
Yes.
But do you think that this is better than the other one?
I don't know about that.
It does go cheap on the War Growl, so it goes for 3.
Yeah. I think it depends ultimately on what you decide to do with your deck, right? Like if Chaos Gallant is your focus, you probably would play the BT5 one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Whereas if this is like your secondary level 6, you would probably play this one. It depends on the rest of your lineup.
If this card is good enough to bring back the BT5 one, then I'm happy with it.
Yeah, because I love Chaos Gallant. I'm always down for the bad dudes, the bad versions, or the black.
Well, this kind of goes back to what we were
repaints.
talking about, right? Like 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were talking about like what decks do we want to see come back?
Yeah.
There you go.
Chaos
they heard
Gallant.
us. Yeah.
That deck was so much fun, and that was such a healthy time for purple with BT5 because like Tactimon was what I was on. I loved Tacti. That was a blast. And then you had all the loyal Chaos Gallant players that would try different versions to figure it out, like which one was working best, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that they tried to do that too before we had the black text box that lets you digivolve for certain amounts on certain Digimon. I think once they introduced that, they really opened up.
They completely did
how they changed this game.
Imagine being like a red based, and then your top end is that purple Chaos Gallant for BT5.
Yeah.
Like you just, your creativity is just open so much.
Yeah, you get all that extra security tech, DP, all the removal, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And then looking at the next ones, you called these.
I did. I definitely need to go on the record and say it was going to be a black base.
You did for the new X antibody.
I'm very excited for these Greymon, Garurumon line.
Not X antibody, sorry, Alter S.
Yes, Alter S. Omnimon Alter S. Yep. And I'm very excited for this like Gabumon, Garurumon, Greymon, how it's like Literally, we have a guy at our shop that's like, I cannot wait till I can play Agumon and Gabumon in the same deck. And I don't know if this is what he meant, because I think he meant more the classic, not the black repaints.
Yeah.
But this is going to be so much fun. This whole
start.
deck is, I mean, like, I heard somebody say it's so close to how Imperial Dramon Red Purple plays. And I almost think I'm going to like this more than that, because of the fact that the body's like, it's not like a one-turn explosion of DNA digivolving, right? It's going to be like, I'm going to build 2 solid stacks. We've already seen Reboot and Blocker as the inheritables, where it's just going to be 2 big, beefy bodies that you're going to... You may deal with one, but I'll be able to build a second one, no problem.
Yeah.
So it's going to be just a really fun way to play the game, for sure.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to see these like alternate play styles. Here we go again, you know? And it also does that like split thing when it dies. Like, so cool.
Wish it was a different artist, but what can I say?
You can't be choosers, right?
Can't be choosers.
So speaking of that, like green purple stuff, you know, we got some more of that. And it's not Greymons this time, or not Tyrannomons this time.
Yeah, it's a new green purple. Are you talking about the Cherubi?
Yeah, the Cherubi line, right? This is all tribal, right? This is all Cherubi tribal.
Yeah, because they gave us the Lotmon, they gave us a Wendigo, they gave us
Antilamon.
What's the level 4? It's like Turimon or whatever. It's the rabbit with the little claws on his hand. Like a ninja. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It used to be a 1-cost Evo in yellow, but yeah, Turimon or something like that.
Yep.
Like, they're giving us the whole Lotmon line in this purple-green playstyle, which is really interesting, but I don't think it's going to synergize with the BT7 Cherubi. I think it's going to be a completely different deck, so I don't think you should try. Like, if you're thinking about buying this, I don't think you need to pick up Cherubis, although they are pretty cheap. If you decide maybe you do want to go that route.
Yeah.
Maybe the yellow Cherubi, just because you are going to have a lot of yellow-green level 4s and maybe yellow-green level 5s, to where you could start doing a bunch of dual-color branches, or play that Cherubi for yellow to delete your other Cherubi. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's. I have to see the rest of this deck, but...
Okay, so here's the big reveal.
Okay.
We got a new black egg.
We did.
It could be good.
It's one of the best black eggs we have. I mean,
you switch it out for Pagu. Like, I don't know. Inherited once per turn, when another one of your Digimon digivolves, you get to draw a card.
I think that is such a
like
good
a
card for what you're doing. You know, it depends on the deck, right? Like, if you're gonna play D Brigade, no, Pagumon all the way.
Yeah.
If you're playing any of these black-based security control or black-based zoo or black-based machine Dramon, you're not gonna switch that out.
Yeah.
But if you're building black stacks, now there is a keyword. It says other Digimon.
Yeah,
so it's not when this
him.
one digivolves. It's when another Digimon digivolves. So this is a perfect egg for that Blitz, Greymon, Crescarumon, Omnimon Ultra-S deck. You're going to be able to filter your hand so quickly. And I think for sure it's going to be a 4 of, and you're not going to play any other egg in that deck. But we'll see for the rest of the decks.
So still not a great black egg. Just very...
It's better than what we have. Yeah. It's better. And you know what? Finally have a better egg for my Chosen One stuff.
Oh, there you go. And then you got, look, more Agumons and Gabumons. There we go.
Whole Agumon,
we got the whole line in
great
one
searchers, one color. It's going to be it. I think they did it right because, for example, right, like none of these level 4s, like the Greymon or Garurumon, are dual colors. They're just pure black.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to play Gabumon X Antibody or Agumon X Antibody in that particular deck, and then Digivolve if they were dual color level 4s. So I think they're just doing a good job of just, those are your 8 searchers. You play 4 and 4 of each of those, and then maybe play like the original Agumon from BT2, the blocker.
Here's the question though. No Kias?
I think so.
Because all of your level 3s. I'm a
Nokia fan. I think
all your level 3s are Agus or Gabus in this deck, right?
Yeah.
Essentially,
I think,
or at least 8 of them.
I think you're probably gonna end up with about 10 to 12 of them, right? It depends if you play Chumon or Chikorymon to stop your opponent, or I guess you could play the Kokuwa that stops reduction of Digivolution costs.
Oh, you have the black Gabu. You have the black Agumon that's a blocker.
Yep.
Right.
But you don't have a black Gabumon. That's the problem.
You're right.
So. Not that I think
but even if you ran 4 Agus, that's 12.
Yeah.
If you ran 4, 4, and 4, that's
I think
12.
it just depends ultimately on what you decide to run to stop your meta.
Yeah, we'll have to see
definitely
the rest
think these
of
are
the
4
deck,
and 4s, and I do think it makes Nokia worth it, especially because the rest of your deck is Garurumon and Greymon,
Yeah.
And there's already great Greymons to play in the deck. Black does have some decent Garurumon support.
Yeah. Might be interesting is like Might be a hot tip there. Pick up your Nokia alt arts now if you don't already have a playset. Might be good for that deck if you plan on playing it.
Yeah.
And then there's your Cherubi. You even got an option, right?
Yeah, the option wasn't horrible. Again, when I see this, I think of how much fun and how strong my purple Cherubi deck was.
The deck was so scary.
Purple hybrids, right? It's a terrifying deck. And this definitely doesn't do anything for that deck. So I think I got to come back and look at these reveals when I'm not being biased.
Yeah. Let your Cherubi, like, nuke yourself deck, right?
Yeah, that's literally what it was.
Did you run more than one Calling of the Darkness in that?
That is a great question. I do think I might have ran 2, but
deck doesn't work now.
It's easy to run one of that because that just gives me another like Bushiagu or even like a Lusamon. Or
can't you run like Underworld's Call or something like that too if you wanted to start it out?
Yeah, but I mean,
there's plenty of purple options.
There's just so many purple options in the deck.
Stuff,
yeah. You don't. Deathclaw was already in the deck, made a lot of sense. So
now this is like the biggest reveal. Like the one that really popped for me was this black Seraphimon.
Oh, yes. We were talking about this.
Digivolves 1 from Seraphimon.
Yes.
It's not an X antibody, but it digivolves on itself, essentially. When a card is removed from your security stack, digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
What we were talking about this is I was surprised this isn't yellow-purple. Because, the description is 100% a black card, right? Yeah. It is, like, if you didn't tell me the name of that, you just read me that card, I was like, oh, yeah, that's at least half, that's at least black, right? Whatever. But it's a Shadow Seraphi. He's supposed to be like the Ophanimon Fall Down equivalent.
Yeah.
Right? Or where he digivolves on a Seraphi, or he's like that kind of like fallen angel demon kind of thing. He's a black card. Why isn't he purple?
Well, and if we're looking at it too, the biggest thing that popped out for me is the fact that is not a once per turn.
No. Oh,
so
this card looks fun.
If they're swinging for multiple checks, you're de-digivolving multiple times.
Yeah.
And then if they want to get rid of it, you're going to recover 1, and then you're going to minus 4K for every card in your security stack. Like that is, it checks all the boxes. I mean, it's got the offense, the defense.
Yellow and black has just been a color combination. We've been needing more dual colors since the beginning. I mean, like I remember since the beginning, I had a good friend of mine who like really just talked to me like in we're talking BT5 days, was like, how do I combine black and yellow? The yellow to recover, black just to create an impenetrable wall of blockers.
Yeah.
And just like hold and just become the ultimate defensive deck. And it's like, and then we started to get some really cool Chumon, Edamon, Sukamon stuff. And then this could be a good sign of things to come.
Yeah. I mean, if this thing just sits on the board, it's just terrifying.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see the shenanigans that people come up with. And then, of course, we have another red Agumon.
Yes. I was so surprised to see that. The fact that the previous set in BT12 in this case, right? BT12 was giving us all the Marcus, the Shine Gray, like all the red yellow Agus. And I was already thinking like, yeah, you're full on Agumons, right? You're going to run 4 of that. You're going to run 4 X antibodies. Like you have stuff to run. Yeah. Now we got another one. Like I cannot believe we have even more like that. It's just ridiculous.
Well, and it's such a good card just to have on the field because it's still only a 3 cost, but you're going to net that memory back. Like you almost play it like a tamer if you have tamers. You know what I mean? Like you're just going to leave it out on the board and like hope that they don't kill it. But they're giving us this whole like red yellow lineup because you get a Greymon as well, or Geo Gray. Sorry, Geo Gray as well.
I'm really excited to see all of this. What's the word I'm looking for? These level 3s that give you memory at the start of your turn. I think Green has one that's coming out, BT11 or BT12. It's like a Palmon or something. It's a vegetation for the Bloomlord line, right? Where you gain a memory at the start of your turn. And so like just having these additional bodies to help push your memory even more.
That's what the Geo Gray does too. It gains you memory off having tamers. So it's like, is this people trying like, should we be ready for another Shine Gray resurgence?
I definitely think Shine Gray is going to make a huge comeback, but that was before this stuff got revealed.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe not the old BT2 Shine Gray. Like that might be like your secondary 6 for sure because it's not bad. Or people who are just so loyal to that might want to bring that back with all the updated stuff.
Yeah.
But I think most people are going to want to play that fun, aggressive red yellow, the brand new one.
Yeah.
And like I mean, this stuff is great. I didn't see this coming. Like I was thinking EX4, it's going to be something different. Like we're going to be getting, we were hearing rumors about Royal Knights. Yeah. Still haven't seen any Royal Knights because Alter S is not a Royal Knight.
I think they said that was for BT13.
Right? Oh, BT13. Yeah, okay, well, but I mean, like I didn't see this come. I didn't see this. But on the other side,
you're surprised that you found they're giving us more Agumons. You quit being surprised.
I actually am surprised. You wouldn't think. But on the flip side of the coin, they're at the same time they're revealing these Agumon stuff, they're giving us what Galmon needs.
That's true. Yeah.
Mirage Galgamon.
Galgamon. I remember like the alt art for that old BT4 one went through the roof.
Yeah, as soon as they revealed that, people were buying up the Mirage Galgamons thinking that the deck was just going to be so much better. And the problem, and trust me guys, I have tried so hard to make Galgamon stuff work. Problem is you don't have control of what your opponent's hand does. How many cards they have in hand. Like you would think getting to 8 cards would be easy, but by the time that they're 8, you've basically lost.
Yeah.
Right? Now this level 3 is you draw one, your opponent draws one.
Yeah.
We finally have some like control into that, which is going to be a double-edged sword because you're giving them so many pieces.
Yeah.
So it better be a worthy payoff for sure.
Yeah. And then we got the Metal Greymon, the Weregarurumon. I feel like this whole set is geared around this black deck. Like that is the main focus of this set.
Which is, I mean, it's really cool. I'm definitely not complaining about this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I can't believe you called that out of the blue because they gave us the red and the blue, and you're like, no, they're going black. I'm like,
I know. It's because they shared the black color. To be fair, it's not like I'm a genius or whatever. It's just the fact that they both shared black together.
Yeah, great deck. And then the last of the reveals, the one that really caught me off guard after the Black Seraphi, was this level 3 Agumon Expert, this yellow one.
Oh, dude, yes.
It just sits on the field, and when it's on the field, your opponent's once per turn, when an opponent plays a Digimon, by revealing a Digimon with the same level as that Digimon from your hand, place that on top of your security stack for the turn.
Super interesting. Like, you just get a heal, and you just get to... I mean, I guess there is the downside where you're going to lose a piece from your hand. And they have to play a very specific body. But you know how many, like this card rewards me.
Yeah.
Because I love playing extra level 3s, right? So like there's just times where, you know, I'll play 14, 15 level 3s, depending on how frustrated I am with bricking, right? Where my opponent plays a level 3, I'll just take one of my extra level 3s because, you know, I got a good hand or I started drawing or I'm mid-game where I have all too many level 3s. I'll just heal.
Yeah.
When they play their Searcher or when they play their Memory Denier or when they play their, you know... Chikorymon, Solarmon, whatever the case may be.
Well, I mean, we have those cards like Chikorymon, where if like, you play level 3, they're like, I'm going to put this Chikorymon on top of my security. Have fun with that. Like,
I'm just not sure what deck I'm specifically going to play this in because you're talking yellow, red, shine gray. You're already going to have all those Agumons for the deck.
Yeah.
So do you fit that in there? I don't know about that.
Well, and it doesn't play off Nokia or anything because it's Agumon in name. It's not an Agumon, you know? So, yeah. All these good reveals. I think we're probably like 30 or 40% through EX4. It's only like 74 cards or whatever. So
crazy. We're gonna have all the cards revealed by the end of December.
Yeah. Well, I think that they're trying to
by the end of this.
I think they're trying to slate this release in Japan by December 24th.
Yeah.
I think they're trying. We'll probably see the rest of it within the next week or maybe 2.
Crazy.
And then we'll get the alt arts.
Yeah, which is always exciting.
All right. Well, let's jump into cards of the week. Even though we didn't. Our cards of the week are pretty much just based off of what we're playing each other against and what we like because we didn't get to play in locals tonight. But I went first last time, so you go first this time.
My card of the week this week is Examon.
Oh, okay.
The reason why
Big bad.
The reason why it's Examon is not by any reason is going to guess, right? It is because it is the deck I'm putting together for my wife to hopefully keep her more and more into the game.
Okay.
So the reason why is my wife has been a huge fan of green control since the very beginning of the game, and that's been her favorite. And so we were sitting around and we were just, you know, doing some play testing, and she really likes her Bloomlord Hydro deck that I built for her. It's the same list that's on the channel. There might be like one change for her personal preference, but it's nothing like major, right, where I need to post another video.
Yeah.
But she was just sitting there and she's like, I really like these control decks, you know, as we're starting to like learn, you know, she's new to card games where I'm not necessarily. So like I have the ability to be like, okay, I know this is my preferred play style. Whereas she's like, oh, you know, like what else is like control-y like this? That's how she says it. Or so I was like, I got to build you Examon.
Yeah.
So I'm putting together the Examon list, probably going to start with the one in our channel because it's a great list.
Yeah.
And just be able to teach her like, all right, prevent me from doing any of my playtesting against you. Because that is just her play style, just to create a giant blocker that has tons of good stuff, and I think she's gonna love it. So
yeah, that evade is just terrifying.
And Examon's a great card, like outstanding card, so much fun to build. The whole deck is awesome. What more can I say?
All right. Well, I'm gonna be late to the game with mine.
Okay.
Because I know that like other influencers and stuff have been talking about this card for a little while now in certain decks, but And the security, like I said, I have been working on the security SetCon deck for a while, and I've really been looking for that edge that really makes it more competitive and more threatening in security. You know, and you, of course, like you're thinking like SetCon's always threatening in security. Well, the version I play, I'm balancing between security cards and security Digimon, right? So it's a very fine balance where if you have too many of one or too many of the other, then the deck just falls apart.
Absolutely. Tough balance.
Because I don't want to play Digimon. So watch the video. We'll get the deck list out. But this card, ST2, right? That was the yellow one?
Yeah, you're super late to the game.
Super late to the game. Holy Flame.
Holy Flame. Great
It's a
card.
great 2-cost option card.
Yeah.
It has really made that deck way more threatening, way more consistent. It's nice to have in your hand because it's cheap. It's threatening against big stacks. I wish I would have played it. If I would have played a yellow deck in like the couple formats ago with Alphamon, like I definitely would have benefited from that card.
It's a great card.
Almost would have tried to tech it into other decks just to get it in there. And
I've been trying to turn people onto Holy Flame since the beginning, guys.
It's such a good card.
I mean,
such a good card.
Not,
and with
not to brag, but I did go top 16 in the first ever big Digimon Evo Cup.
Oh, okay. And you played Holy Flame?
Using 4 Holy Flames.
There you go. Yeah.
I was playing blue-yellow, so that deck profile is on a completely other channel when I tried to start something 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
But Holy Flame.
It's so good in SetCon because like people, when they realize you're playing SetCon, you know, they build up to the point where they're like, okay, I can do this many checks. I can check this many variables. But it's like as soon as they hit that, it shuts down almost their entire board.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, whatever I was going to do this turn, I have to wait at least one more turn. It's kind of like an ice wall effect, right?
Well, I was literally going to talk about that. That's a great point that you made because remember how much confusion Ice Wall brought up? Or even just like the Venusmon or we were having that, where it's those blanket effects like that. And it's crazy because I don't remember hearing any confusion back then about Holy Flame because I just don't think people played it.
Yeah.
Nobody took advantage of how powerful that card. It's a 2-cost.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's an 8-cost, 5-cost, whatever to just stop your entire opponent's board. It's only 2.
Yeah. And I've been seeing people playing it in certain things. I just never really paid attention to it. But when Jacob brought in his Sakuya deck, check the video, he put that in there because it still triggers the Viximon.
Yes.
And so I ended up changing out the eggs in my SetCon deck because I do play a lot of options in that. So you get the extra draw. Yeah. Great card. If you guys play any yellow decks, I recommend at least looking into it because in security and even out of security, it saves you at least a turn for 2, which is invaluable.
Holy Flame's great, man. It's a great card.
Yeah.
Absolutely good choice.
So I think that's going to kind of wrap it up for this week. It's a short one. We had a long one last week, so we're going to give you a shorter one this week. But check out that last week's video, guys, because we had a lot of fun going through every single set. And arguing and giving our opinions on why we hate it, why we love it, and mostly why we agree. I think we were only one off on a couple things.
Yeah, most of them were about one off.
So you're leaving to California this week. Are you building anything new to take with you, or are you gonna take just like a handful of decks, go down there and just confuse the meta players?
That's a great point. I'm gonna take probably about. I usually take about 10 decks because I have like a really convenient travel box that fits 10. Really nicely. So I'll bring like the ones that we're gonna film today, you and me, and I'll bring some other stuff that I'm like want to work on. Like I really want to update like a new Beelzemon list. I want to work on some more purple stuff. And but since I'm going down there, and I'm glad I have this little soapbox to talk, I want to know what you guys want me to start building for the channel, right? If you guys want me to update old things, right? So when I'm in, I'm going down for work, I'm there, for training, right? I usually have my evenings free. I'll jump on Discord, I'll play games, and I'll do all that stuff too. But there's just times where I just like sit on DigimonCard.dev and I start theory crafting. So I want to take advantage of this opportunity, and I want to hear what you guys want me to start crafting, what you guys want me to start updating. If you guys want to see any old lists, give me homework for these 2 weeks that I'm gone. But I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know if I'm going to build anything brand new. We'll see how these next, because I got to start packing. I got to start getting all my house stuff closed up, make sure the wife and the cat are taken care of while I'm gone for 2 weeks. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to specifically build
you have one
new.
request already.
One request.
In the can is we need updated Raiden mod.
I mean, whoever asked that, reach out to me because I want to be your best friend now. Because I mean, like the fact that somebody went back to that old video of Raidenmon, which was such a passion project of mine, and like requested an update, that's awesome. So if you guys definitely want another Raidenmon update, I'll give you another Raidenmon update.
All right, well, let's see it. As far as I go, I'm still working on Hexablow. I think I got Machine Dramon done. I got the security control deck done, where I like it. Yeah. But I'm still tweaking that Hexablow deck because a lot of people have been asking about that because you have that new Pale Dramon and Snow Agu.
Which I think the Snow Agu is like the best addition to that deck.
It is very, very good.
It's good.
Well, and the Pale Dramon's good because you can trash any Digivolution source, which is really cool. Still only costs 2.
Yeah, and I think that's our first time that we get that effect where it's choose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a big thing I found in that deck, best part about it so far, hit you in security sometimes during testing tonight, Absolute Blast. That is a fantastic card.
I mean, it's an
Check it
absolute
out.
blast of a card.
You got Gomamon and Balukumon where you can play it for cheaper.
Yep.
And it bottom decks Death X. So
that's
check it out.
the best place to set a Death X.
It's got a $2 alt art that's fantastic. So that's kind of my secret sauce in the deck so far. I'm still tweaking some ratios and some defensive stuff. Still trying to figure out if I want to put blockers in, but we can get into that later. That's what I'm building.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Yep.
Have a safe flight.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys next week.